Hi everybody, in this video I want to give you a general picture to understand why in quadratic equation we have three cases, delta greater than 0, equals 0 and smaller than 0, that corresponds to different kinds of solutions. So let's start with writing the quadratic equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. The point is that solving this equation is the same thing as solving a system of two equations, where the first one is y equals the left-hand side of the equation, and y equals the right side, which is 0. So basically, solving an equation is the same thing as finding the intersections of the x-axis and a parabola. So this picture should really help you figuring why there are three cases, because when we have two solutions, so delta greater than 0, this means that the parabola intersects the x-axis twice in two different points. So when we have delta greater than 0, this just means that giving y an x-axis, the parabola does this. There are two intersections. For example, in the video in which we solved an equation, a quadratic equation with delta greater than 0, we had this equation, and we saw that the two solutions were 2 and 3. So having two different solutions means that the parabola intersects twice the x-axis. Having delta equals 0 meant having just one solution with multiplicity 2, or counting twice the same solution. So what happened, if you remember the video where we had this equation, the solution was 5 but counted twice. So if we have 5 here on the x-axis, this parabola touches the x-axis twice here, which means it is tangent to the x-axis. In the third case, when there are no solutions, what happens geometrically is that if there are no solutions, this parabola, you might have guessed at this point, has no intersections with the x-axis. This was the example in our video about the parabola, about the equation with delta smaller than 0, and what happens is that, now I don't know what this parabola is, but maybe it should be somewhere here, and it doesn't touch the x-axis. So you can see that going from delta greater than 0 equals 0 smaller than 0 means that this parabola basically goes up. And in a sense, which I will not explain now, this is related to the fact that we are assuming a greater than 0, which basically means this parabola has this shape. So if you liked the video, then thumb up, subscribe to be updated, and see you next time.